Why are you not delegating yet? In this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 reasons why people don't delegate, why it's choking their business, and what you can do about it. Hey look, I get it, you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, a thought leader, you're growing your baby, but you're maxed out, stressed out, burnt out, and hitting that glass ceiling that prevents you from taking your life and your business to the next level. The challenge is, you're probably not delegating effectively, if at all. Well, before I give you the 3 reasons, let me tell you something that I know about entrepreneurs, having been one for 30 years. And that is, when we fall in love with our own idea, we go out there, we give it everything. In fact, every single entrepreneur that I know has a PhD. Pig-headed discipline. You need that to embrace the uncertainty that business brings. And my late and great friend and ex-business partner, Chet Holmes, who wrote the incredible book, The Ultimate Sales Machine, used to tell me, he says, Peter, any entrepreneur can make $1 million a year just working half days. Now, of course, you know what a half day is as an entrepreneur. That's 12 hours a day. But that's really the limit. You can't grow a business to 5 million or 10 million or more being on your own. And for most people who then hire staff, the challenge is they become micromanagers rather than effective delegators. So what are the 3 things or the 3 reasons why most entrepreneurs fail to delegate? The most common is that you're just too busy being busy. Isn't that the case? It's like, I haven't got time to learn how to delegate. I haven't got time to be able to do that. By the time I explain it to that person, I might as well do it myself. All of that stuff. Well, let me give you an analogy here. Saying that you're too busy to delegate is like facing the enemy on a battlefield, and you've got this bow and arrow and you're firing at these thousands of people with bows and arrows, and all of a sudden somebody taps you on the shoulder and says, hey, guess what? I've got this thing called a machine gun. And you're like, go away, I'm too busy to learn how to use a machine gun. I'm too busy firing bows and arrows, for God's sake. You get my point. If that's you, wake up. Learn how to use a machine gun. Learn how to delegate. Being too busy being busy is no excuse. That is a war cry of failure for an entrepreneur. The second most common reason why people don't delegate, and I've been there myself so many times, is that you think that you can do a better job. Or worse, you don't think anyone else can do as good a job as you. I got news for you, my friends. They can't. Deal with it. Nobody is going to see the business the way that you see it. That's not to say they can't do a better job. They probably can at the technical level. In fact, they should be doing a better job at the technical level, but nobody's going to see the business the way you see it. No one's going to hold it as close to their heart as you do. It's your baby, not theirs. Everybody's baby is the best looking baby, and everybody else's isn't. So if they were entrepreneurs, if they saw the business the way you see it from the entire bird's eye view with all of the nuances, guess what? They'd be running their own business. They wouldn't be working for yours. Understand? So once you accept that fact, you can start to let go of it. Then we have the 3rd reason why most people don't delegate, and that is you're a control freak. You're a micromanager. You insist on seeing everything, signing off on who's buying the pencils, all of that stuff because, again, you're afraid. Yes, you heard me. You may say you're stressed, but stress is the achiever word for fear. So what you're doing really is trying to control everything because you're scared of failure. If I don't do this, if I don't make sure that's done right, it won't be done right. And if it's not done right, my business will suffer. The subtext behind that, my friends, is often this. Don't worry, it's a common phenomenon and one that is at the heart of almost all of the stress that most entrepreneurs face. Because unconsciously, if you link your self-worth to your net worth, every time your net worth is threatened because somebody lost a customer or didn't do this thing right, or the business suffers because fill in the blank, if that then threatens your net worth and your self-worth is linked, it will trigger the primary fear we have as human beings, which is the fear we're not enough, and what somebody will do almost anything to avoid having to face. Therefore, in order to try to preempt that, in order to try to mitigate that, we control everything. It's like a parent who never lets their kid out of their sight, not allowed to play in the playground. In fact, let's wrap them in bubble wrap. And if you look at any of the studies that were done in the 70s where we tried to protect children from having challenges or problems, you'll see what happened. It was a social disaster. They turned out to be the most dysfunctional people society had seen. Yeah, you learn from your failures because your failures are your capital. You're not meant to give the right answers and get 100% of the test results in an exam. If you do that, you're in the wrong class. As Les Brown once said, if you're the smartest money in the room, then find a smarter room. And he was a smart guy. I've shared the stage with Les around the world. awesome legend in the field, knows what he's talking about. So what do we do about trying to solve this delegation issue? Well, the first thing is to accept that it's okay to do it. It's okay to get help. It's okay to give responsibility and empower other people. Remember, the definition of a leader is not how many followers they get, it's how many other leaders that they can create. And when it comes to working with staff, I'm going to share with you a lesson, a very powerful and valuable lesson that took me a long time to learn, because I'm part of the Slow Learners Club, from my first ever secretary. Her name was Lynn. She was an ex-military girl and she was phenomenal, but she taught me the most valuable lesson I've ever learned when it comes to staff. She said, Pete, yeah, you're trying to control everyone. You're catching them doing everything wrong instead of catching them doing things right. If you learn how to treat your staff right, they'll do anything for you. And that hit me at a level, it's like, whoa, here's me so focused on trying to protect my business by telling you to do that and have you done that and is that there? I was creating resentment. And if I really want to get things done in my business, resentment is not really a great attitude to cultivate. You get my point? So learn how to inspire your staff, catch them doing what's right, and all of a sudden, you'll start to create an empowered culture. I also use the frame of what I call IIR, which stands for Issue, Impact, and Recommendation. In other words, rather than train your staff to bring you problems, why don't you train them to bring you solutions? Wouldn't that be an idea? Not that you have to accept the solution, but at least you're training them to think. Because I used to get in the office at 5 a.m. and 9 o'clock the zoo would arrive, the people zoo, and I'd be fighting fires till 5 or 6 p.m. when the zoo would leave, and then I'd work through till 10, 11 o'clock at night, get up at 4:30 in the morning and run the whole thing over again, working 130 to 133 hours a week. I was stressed out, maxed out, borderline depressed. And yes, I had a Ferrari, never got to drive the damn thing. I didn't have a life. And the biggest challenge that I faced there, apart from falling asleep in meetings and yawning for a living, was I really never had a relationship with the people that really mattered most. When I learned to value my staff before my customers, everything shifted. And part of that was when I implemented IIR. So it's very simple. Somebody comes and they state what the issue is. Not the story, but in small amount of words. Right? The issue is the printer can't deliver the printing for this job on time. Not like, oh my God, you're not going to believe what's happened, and it's not my fault, but strip out the story. What are the facts? What is the impact of that? This means we're not going to be able to fulfill the order for our customer at the time we promised. Nobody's fault, just the facts. And then, what is the recommendation? I recommend we contact the customer now and let them know, and at the same time see if we can put in a mitigating factor by looking at another printer, or we can actually offer them something to discount their order, or we can give them something of value on top, whatever it may be. And again, this is a recommendation from your staff to you. It trains them to get thinking. What you don't turn around and say, that is the most stupidest recommendation and here's why it won't work. Remember, they don't see your business from 50,000 feet. You do. But if you train your staff to do issue, impact, and recommendation, it will transform your ability to free up your time and allow them to get more resourceful. The next thing you should do when it comes to learning how to prioritize your time and delegate is to create the list. What do I mean, the list? I mean the list of things that only you should do or can do, and the list of things that you shouldn't, which is everything else. See, on my list, on my business, I have only 3 things that are on that list. That's it. One is to create content, which is what I'm doing for you guys right now. The second is to deliver content, which is what I'm doing for you guys right now. And the third is to sign off on the high-level budget and strategy. That's it. Now, if you're a solopreneur, I get it. It's tough when you're on your own. You've got to wear every single hat. But there are so many resources available right now that if you don't value your time above $5, $6, $7 an hour, I can promise you, there are a lot of people out there where that is triple the normal wage that they're getting. They have university education and they love to do the stuff that you don't like. If you don't like doing video editing, there will be people out there who dream, live, breathe video editing in countries that you've never visited that are highly technically qualified that would love the chance to work with you. Yes, I'm talking about virtual staff. If you want a recommendation on that, go read the incredible book by Chris Drucker called Virtual Freedom. It will transform your ability to delegate at a cost-effective level. But remember, if you're doing stuff that you can pay somebody $10, $20, $30 an hour for, then you're valuing your time at far less than what an entrepreneur should. And in today's world where it's so easy to access and manage a virtual team around the world like I do and so many other business owners and digital nomads, then there's just no excuse. And I used to have to invest $1 million of CapEx into infrastructure that I can now get the benefit of that's 5 times better for $6.99 a month on an app. I mean, we're living in such a time now, guys, where there's no excuse. You can monitor your staff, delegate to your staff, project manage from your staff from anywhere in the world, sitting at a set of traffic lights with a smartphone today. Don't let that opportunity by. And then finally, never link your self-worth and your net worth together. If you still think that who you are is what's in your bank, I got news for you. If you've not seen my video on what matters most in life, go watch that and it'll give you an entirely different perspective. See, business should be joyous, not stressful. You've chosen to captain and pilot your own ship. Of course the seas are going to get stormy at times. Of course there's going to be gales. Yes, there may be pirates out there. Go have the adventure. That's what business is about. And as one entrepreneur to another, I tell you that the biggest gift that we have is the ability to handle uncertainty and make that adventure an adventure. Otherwise, we may as well go work in Walmart and settle for that and give up on our dream. But I don't think you're ready to do that. Not there's anything wrong with people that choose that path, but you didn't. You're watching this because you're an entrepreneur and you want to build your business through to that next level so you can give those opportunities to other people. Learn how to delegate. It'll change your life. Hey, if you like that video, then please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so that I can delegate my team to send you more videos. No, I'm just kidding, but you get the point. Please leave a comment below. Tell me what you loved about the video. And if you really want to help a fellow business owner or somebody who you think's stressed because they're micromanaging, click the share button and I'll see you on another video soon.